I'll never forget the first time I met Lionel. You see him on TV and you know he's the GOAT, but I mean, I'm talking half my size at best. The dude is tiny, and it just blew my mind.
My guest today is a great American, a gent who's just retired after 12 NFL seasons as one of the best defensive players of all time. He is a certified legend for the work he's done on and off the field. And so much has happened since he last came on, including perhaps the most profound life transition of all, becoming a father to 4-month-old Kowa James. It's a true joy to welcome back the pride of Pewaukee, Wisconsin, Chelsea fan extraordinaire, Mr. JJ Watt.
Oh, wow, it's great to be here, Raj. Thank you. Thank you.
The decision to retire, is it something that gnaws at you, then just becomes crystal clear?
Yeah, I would say that's actually pretty accurate. It's something you certainly think about and you want to try and find the right time. And the fear is that you are always trying to find the right time until you can't. I had my son. I had a season that I'm proud of personally. And my son got to watch me play, even if he's never going to remember it, but I can show him videos. It was the right time, and I feel great about it. I'm very happy, and I love being retired and being able to just really focus my attention on the little man.
The retirement decision, is it something you fight?
Absolutely. When next season starts up and they're going through the season, and I'm not out there, and I'm watching guys play, and I'm watching guys do what I know I'm capable of doing still. There's certainly going to be moments where I'm like, man, I wish I was out there, man. But I think that part of the reason that I did it now and part of the reason I'm so comfortable with it is because I understand that at some point, every single player in history sheds that identity. You have to. And I just wanted to do it now when I'm happy and healthy and not when somebody tapped me on the shoulder and said it's time to go.
There was another quote of yours. I'm ready for a new challenge. Whatever that new challenge may be, I'm looking forward to seeing what else is out there. How do you get your head around the what now, JJ?
I do a lot of research on it. I look to see what other people have done after their career. I look to see what other opportunities are out there. I look to see, try and think about what people haven't thought about. I want people to look at something I do and say, I didn't even know a football player could do that, or I didn't even know that he was capable of that.
I don't like to project and I don't like to break news on this podcast, JJ, but if I'm hearing the contours of what you're laying out, the professional goalkeeper dream that you always had, now's the time, right?
I mean, I'm up for it.
JJ Watt is proper football. And just Google right now the video that JJ shot with the mighty Kun Aguero. JJ, those penalty shots, the power of the JJ Watt leg, you have some gun.
Oh, I can fire a penalty shot in there. The problem I have is the running, Raj. It's the problem. So that's why keeper, I'm a big guy. My wife always says my problem with keeper would be getting down. Like she's like, you wouldn't be able to get to the low balls. I push back on that. I think my distribution would be strong. I think I'd be very good at distributing the ball. I can throw it a mile. I couldn't do that sidewinder kick that a lot of the keepers are doing nowadays. And I wouldn't stop any penalties. I mean, I would just try and play absolute mind games. I would try and intimidate. That would be my only goal.
But undoubtedly, the most impressive athletic feat in that whole Kun Aguero video is you squeezing yourself into Kun Aguero's shirt. That bad boy looked child-sized.
It is. I mean, I'll never forget. So I know Kun pretty well. We talk all the time. He's a great guy. He's one of my best friends. He came with Argentina, and Messi was here and him, and so I got a chance to meet all those guys. And I'll never forget the first time I met Lionel. You see him on TV and you know he's the GOAT, but I mean, I'm talking half my size at best. The dude is tiny, and it just blew my mind. Like I could not picture how Virgil van Dijk is out there, and then Lionel Messi is just scooting right around him. He's got to be half of Virgil's size.
Can you just articulate for new viewers, what role does football, soccer, Premier League soccer in particular, play in the JJ Watt life, especially now you're retired?
Oh, it's massive. I mean, like I told you last time, it started with FIFA and playing with Ivory Coast and Drogba. And then I followed Drogba to Chelsea, and then I became a Chelsea fan. And the Premier League overall has taken on a massive role in my life.
Last time we were on, we talked about your deep affection for Chelsea Football Club. How do you understand what has been going on? What has happened since, and how do you understand it?
I think if I look at that situation, I'm objectively looking at it, let's say as a Chelsea fan, You're looking at a guy coming in from overseas, and you have a club that's been very successful. You had the owner had to leave, obviously, for reasons, out of the club's control, and that owner had a certain way of doing things for a very long time, but he put people in place at the highest levels of the game. The system in place was working very well. So somebody comes in and removes that manager, removes that director, removes that scouting department. That's not a job that you just fill with nobody and you say you're going to do it yourself. You have to put the right person in place, and I think that that's kind of where it got awry, was somebody without the proper knowledge thinking that they had it.
Last January, all those shiny new players arriving, Enzo, 140 million, Mudryk, 106 million, How Felix and the rest. Did it feel like NFL draft day where the team you played on had all the first round picks?
So it feels good in a sense that your club is purchasing players, and there's that ambition there to be great. It also didn't feel great from a standpoint that it almost felt like we didn't know our own team, because you're bringing in so many new players and you don't know any of them, and that identity is kind of gone. And it feels like when there's a brand new squad, the connection is lost. And I don't like when the connection is lost.
Poor Graham Potter, and you've played for many coaches in your time in the NFL. What do you see when you watch him?
I see a guy in an extremely tough position. I mean, he's been handed the keys to one of the best organizations in the world, and after a man who came in and won a Champions League within 15 months, and he has also been given nearly £1 billion worth of transfers, and everything from the outside world looks at that and says, you have to be successful. Why aren't you being successful? But the reality of sports is that it is not as simple as that. And the people that make it look that simple are great for a reason.
In your experience, is there a moment where a squad, they just know the manager and they just kind of have a sense of him, and even if he's a good manager, possibly somewhere else, they just know this gent's not going to be a culture fit in this place, in this time?
Yeah, and if you get to that point, that's a tough point to be, because you're not really getting that back. Like, you really, as a manager, as a coach, you get that one shot right at the beginning to show, this is what I do, this is my knowledge base, this is why we're going to be successful, this is the level of discipline I need. And you have that beginning era to implement your first impression. And if guys aren't bought in at the beginning, it is extremely hard to get them to buy in, midway through, because they're already starting to question things. So unless you have some grand plan to get everybody back on board, it is tough to lose them if you lost the first impression.
Got to quickly touch upon poor Christian Pulisic, the best men's player this nation's ever produced. What would you like to happen to Christian, JJ? What would you like to see him do?
I want to see him get consistent playing time. Part of being an athlete is being in a rhythm. When you're only playing 30 minutes, 60 minutes every couple weeks, that now becomes the most important 60 minutes, and you're trying to do so much in that time to prove you get more 60 minutes. And then you aren't as free and aren't as loose as you should be. So I want to see him back to playing a lot of football. I want to see him feeling comfortable and confident again. I don't want to see him, just sitting on the bench struggling to be at Chelsea because it's Chelsea. I'd rather see him play somewhere else and be successful.
Can we touch upon quickly the Men's World Cup? What was the level of interest in the tournament?
Interest was high. I mean, I was frustrated at the time of year that it was. I remember watching the final. I believe we were in Denver when I was watching the final. I got to my hotel. We landed the plane, got to my hotel, and immediately put it on in the hotel room. And I was like, I don't like that this is right during the middle of I want it to be in its normal time slot. I want it to be, so I'm here watching this and I got to go to a meeting, and then I'm coming back and it's Mbappe and Messi going like blow for blow. And I'm like, I need to be sitting down, paying attention to this. I don't even care about the meeting I'm supposed to go to right now.
Can we talk about our young American boys? What do you think of our gents' performance, big picture?
I think the thing it did was hopefully raise our expectation level a little bit around here, which I think is good. I think that the expectation level can no longer ever be, excited to make the tournament, hoping to make a little splash. We have to have the squads where we're comfortable going toe-to-toe with an England. But it was fun to watch. I mean, the next decade is going to be exciting because of the Olympics, because of the World Cups.
We touched upon Lionel Messi earlier, but I do need to know, as an elite athlete, watching another transcendent elite athlete of a completely different body shape, body size. What do you see when you witness him?
I mean, watching him win the World Cup was incredible for me. To see him not only win it, but be the reason they win it and be the reason that they're so good at the age that he's at, still playing the way he's playing. And to do that for his country, there cannot be a better feeling in the world. And as an athlete, like having a small understanding of what that must feel like is, and we don't get to do it at the national level. Like even if I won a Super Bowl, I'm bringing it back to a city and a state. He is bringing it back to a country that has been dying for it for years and years. I mean, what a feeling.
The World Cup is coming to these shores in 2026. It's going to be played in Canada and Mexico, yes, but most dominantly in 11 cities across the United States. NFL stadia will throng with Americans welcoming the world to watch the best, play the most watched sporting event on the planet. JJ, what do you think that tournament, that delirious month, that eclipse which will strike the entire world and unite us for 30 straight days, what will it do for this game of soccer's profile in this nation?
It's going to be incredible. I'm looking forward to it. I think that soccer here has already gained so much steam and momentum, and I think having it here on our shores, in our cities, is going to only elevate it even further. I think the women's game here has taken such a massive step forward, which is incredible, and only is going to continue to lead the way. The way that the women's game over here has evolved and the way that those ladies are stepping out in front and leading is incredible. So I'm looking forward to it, and I think that the game is going to continue to elevate here, and I think it's going to continue to inspire younger generations, and our men's and women's teams are only going to get better and better.
I've always joked on the show, soccer is America's sport of the future, as it has been since 1972. What is the ceiling for soccer here compared to the traditional American bat and ball sports? How big can it be?
So I've talked to a lot of people about this actually because of my interest in ownership, both either here or abroad. And a lot of people have the same sentiment that you have, where people have been saying forever that soccer is the sport of the future. Soccer is on its way. I think the problem is everybody keeps looking for one explosion of interest where it's, oh my gosh, now this is America's sport. I don't believe that that's ever going to come, but I do believe the last time we had it, the Mia Hamm, the Brandy Chastain, they led a revolution that took years and years and years, but they led that, and it took time, and it's built. I think we're going to have another one of those here. I don't think it's going to be this thing where all of a sudden soccer takes over the NFL, but I do think that it's going to build and build and build at that slow climb, and it's going to be great.
Women's World Cup, you talked so passionately last time you came on. Talked about how the US women's team and the NWSL and its stars are largely responsible for the rise of football in the United States. Quick one, what's your gut feeling as our women head off to attempt to go back to back to back?
I think they're playing great. My wife's teammate Mal is playing incredible football, and she believes. She MVP for a reason. She played so well. I think that those ladies are in fine form right now. I think there's going to be some great challenges. I do think that world women's football is improving also. I think the England women have done a great job. I think there's some great competition, but I'm an American. I'm confident in our ladies.
JJ Watt, to you, to your wife, to your son, to your family, and to all that comes next. Courage. Subscribe here for more Men in Blazers videos, and courage.